What's up, world? My name is Nicole, and I just kind of want to talk to the ladies real quick. I've noticed that there is a lot of anxiety, there's a lot of depression, and there seems to be a lot of mental illness, even grief, that is among us. And those things persist. They kind of seem to overtake us. Now, when I look at that, I'm also mindful of the notion that Black women are diagnosed with heart disease far more than other ethnicity groups. And so I kind of begin to assess, what exactly is going on among us. It cannot be minimized to diet because so many of us eat differently. There's a lot of vegans, a lot of vegetarians among us, a lot of people who only eat baked foods and don't eat fried foods. And so I continue to dig, and I realize that this is a heart condition. This is a spiritual heart condition. And what happens is that we experience trauma from the time that we're younger all the way up until present day. And as a result, we build these barriers that come along with ideologies to keep people out. And the barriers keep people out, but it also isolates us. Even more than that, it causes us not to trust others, but deep down inside, in reality, what we really don't trust is ourselves. And so there's a lot of unforgiveness, and unforgiveness is toxic. Nelson Mandela said that unforgiveness is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. And to unpack that just a little bit, it is rooted. It affects every aspect of our being. It affects our thought processes. It affects our emotional state. It affects our spiritual state. Every aspect of our being is affected by unforgiveness. Even more than that, every aspect of our being is affected by these things like grief and depression and childhood trauma. Childhood trauma, whether it's physical, mental, or sexual abuse, or neglect, or abandonment, never being heard, never being told that you were loved, that you mattered, that what you say mattered. And then that transcends into relationships as we develop. And the way it transcends into relationships as we develop is that we create a box. And in this box, everything about our friends, our partners, needs to fit within that box. And if it doesn't fit within that box, then we push it away because it has the ability to hurt us. Even more than that, if someone gets too close, if we fall in love, if we open ourselves, that becomes a difficult place as well, because we in turn begin to push that away, or either sabotage the situation so that the person will walk away because there is an intrinsic fear of being hurt. And so with all of that in mind, I began to look back at my grandmother, and even my great-grandmother. I had the ability to meet her as well. And I noticed that didn't exist among them, among that generation. I have great aunts that are still alive, healthy, and doing well, and it didn't exist. And so I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, well, what changed? What exactly happened? And it dawned on me that there is an absence in this generation of community. The absence of community forces us to bear this burden by ourselves, all of these burdens, because it starts out as a little pebble, and everything that happens in life that disappoints, that hurts, that is a sign, a symptom of past hurts, begin to add to that. And by the time we become adults, then it's a mountain or several mountains, and those mountains isolate us, and it doesn't allow us to trust others or ourselves, or our ability to find someone worthy to trust. And given that we don't have that community, is hurting us. It's hurting us. All of these things that we are experiencing, it is a spiritual heart attack. Your heart is literally being attacked by grief of losing a child, by being diagnosed with mental illness, childhood traumas that in turn erupt as an adult. Something that you thought was over or something that you blocked out then comes to your remembrance, and it erupts at the wrong time. And it takes us into a space where we are inches away from being in a place with padded rooms. These are spiritual heart attacks. And when these things happen, what we need is community. We need a community to come around us and heal us. Women have been dealing with stressors, with disappointment, with being treated less than since the beginning of time. Ever since Eve deceived Adam, we lost all rights. And even though the Son restored those things, it's still we are still looked at by so many cultures and institutions as less than, because we are women. And what we need to do is band together as women. We need to be able to support each other. We have to be able to open up and to listen to other women, to take time to nurture each other, to support each other. And it's not about having all the answers. Sometimes all you need is somebody to join you. Sometimes all you need is someone to be able to vent to, someone to be able to call and be able to and listen to what you're saying. That way you're not unheard. That way you're not in it by yourself. There's a release that happens from the heart. There's a release and an openness, and something else comes in and is able to join you and help support you in bearing the burden, and that releases it. It doesn't keep it confined. It doesn't keep it rooted and wedged in us, whereby it shows up in actual physical manifestations. That's just my thoughts. I'm really open to hearing what you guys think, but I've really, meditated on this for quite some time. And I think the answer that we need is community. It's in community that there is unity. And where there's unity, we're able to be and operate in our fullness. And when we're able to operate in our fullness, deliverance happens, healing happens, chains are broken. That is a part of our human mandate. When Yahuwah created the heavens and the earth, he did it in community. Let us make man. That's community. When he created Adam and Eve, community. And then he told them, make community. Community is through community that we understand the fullness of who we are, and we are able to empathize with pain. There is a lot of suffering and a lot of hurting that is going on in the world, but so many of us have experienced some of those hurts, and we could be able to walk through that with someone. We can be able to walk them into the light, whereby we had to do it for ourselves. We don't all have to do that. If we came together, sisters, if we band together, nothing would be able to stop us. I hope that this was a blessing to you. My name is Nicole. Grace and peace.